Good evening, nice to hear everyone. It's like Kartik Govardhan readings almost for our Bhagavatam Cosmology. So, and the topic we're covering, it's not quite similar to cosmology, yet it is connected with cycles. It's connected with mathematics, sort of impersonal representation of time, of the Lord, of Kala, as previously the topic was discussed. And I'll just make a few statements before I proceed to cover the topic. And the first, sorry, I'll show it again. Yeah. Yeah. So Ravindra Sarupa, he wrote a wonderful book about Srila Prabhupada, where he states that Srila Prabhupada, he continues where his spiritual master has left the mission, and he connects Srila Prabhupada's impact with what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had previously done. And he covers one interesting author in the line of Bhaktisiddhanta. This is Nishkanta Sanyal, who wrote a robust book about the philosophy of Krishna Chaitanya. And this book, he makes a big introduction into history of theism and atheism. And this Professor Sanyal, he was very much appreciated by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who used him in different preaching missions, and he was a scholar, and he explained what is the meaning of Shunyavada and Mayavada, how it is important to understand it in the dialectics of Indian spiritual philosophy, and how their logic of Paksha, Purva Paksha, how it goes on with all the schools, and how mathematics is important, and why astronomy is important. So this book is it's very important to understand how Indian dialectics of Indian philosophies goes on. Then we know that another preliminary statement, that there's a book called Dialectical Spiritualism. It is a course of lectures that Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Prabhupada delivered, and it was recorded by his disciples. And there, the value of these outlines lies in the fact that the followers of Srila Prabhupada, they are shown the path. It's sort of a template in the activities and development of Bhaktivedanta Institute. And here, for example, we cover Bhagavatam Cosmology, yet there are many other topics like psychology and philosophy or sociology to cover, and all the path of Western philosophy is discussed and compared with Vedic view. According to the structure of spiritual dialectics, we'll try to combine modern economic theory with the position of cosmology of Bhagavata Purana. The Sanskrit word dharma is translated as religion, law, and it is understood as a broader sense, in a broader sense than in this philosophy of law. It implies the knowledge of the absolute. When it comes down to the religion, it is meant not a specific religion, yet as a set of general laws. From a philosophical point of view, this concept is revealed as an objective reality in the form of an aggregate balance of interactions of three macro energy groups. In modern economic theory, the general characteristics of a market economy are based on the views of the econometric direction. According to the neoclassical school, there are four factors of production that take part in creating the price of a product. When comparing two systems, the system of a classical economy or political economy and the system of econometrics, we find that the system formulated in the Bhagavata Purana and the classical economy, it is not based on econometric, on simply mathematical principle or like a color principle or mathematical impersonal principles, because the consciousness is taken into account in a classical political system, and it's not only factors that land, capital, labor, entrepreneurship are taken account, but yet consciousness is taken into account, which is important. Since if we eliminate consciousness, then we get a simple, well, an impersonal model of economy, which is not complete. Like in modern understanding, in the modern understanding, the word dharma can be interpreted as above knowledge. The Sanskrit texts cover all aspects of knowledge, and they are considered in a single system, not divided into scientific and spiritual. And the problem how to measure economy is what kind of a measurement we take in order, which unit should we use. The theory of marginal utility doesn't answer the question in what units marginal utility should be assessed and compared. And the theorists of labor theory of value or political economy, they were unable to measure the expenditure of socially necessary time and production of goods. It's one of the most difficult questions. Like previously, like lectures that discussed the very hard, very complex questions of, for example, quantum mechanics or of a measure of the universe. But in a social economy, how to measure the production of goods, the expenditure of social necessary time, it's also considered one of the most difficult one. And different all kinds of formulas are used. Here we see how worth is equal to cost and value of manpower and added cost manpower. The theory of value and econometrics, they use a slightly different approach. Like in the theory of value, we see that added value cost manpower and the cost of labor includes a historical and moral element as an abstract category. So we see, like in Marxist theory, in political economy, in Marxist theory, the consciousness is added, yet it is added as an abstract category as well. So it's sort of, though it's slightly personal, yet it is also impersonal, since in order to measure something, you have to be impersonal or use this color principle. Let's consider Gauss's first law. As the quantity consumed of a good increases, its marginal utility tends to decrease. Gauss's first and second law resemble the formation of the social price of production, the labor theory of value. Only the logical constructions are carried out not in relation to the formation of the price of enterprise, but in relation to an individual, his subjective assessment of value. This table contains the consideration of 3 industries with different organic capital compositions. Some is first, second, and third. They're compared to each other, and this table helps us to compare value added cost. How the value added cost is abstracted and given a mathematical approach. In marginal utility theory, a profit maximizing firm seeks to choose the combination of factors of production that is most efficient. The task comes down to minimizing cost for each given volume of production. Let's consider the consumer equilibrium formula. This formula can be written as follows. Where marginal revenue from an individual factor of production appears price of these factors of production, this formula we will insert the value of production costs, which will take from a table of process for formation of average profit and labor theory of value. And the results we get are the same in the theory of marginal utility as in the theory of labor value. Here we see Alfred Marshall, who gave us he determined the price of product, including market values, the factors of production, and undoubted merit of Karl Marx is in the position of priority of labor over the components of production factors to create goods and ultimately profit. Then I would like to note that Vladimir Vernadsky, who lived in 20th century, his impact was that philosophy, he considered in living currents, is always connected with the search for scientific thought, and the old idea of matter, which underlines old ideological systems, corresponds to scientific ideas about it of the 17th, 19th century, and contradicts the fundamental logic of understanding to which the science of the 20th century went. So the idea of Vernadsky was to offer a holistic view on the manpower, on the universe, and existence of man in the universe. His thoughts were very cosmological. He thought that the existence of man on Earth is cannot be limited to only to this planet, since this planet it is limited in resources. So the idea that he proposed was that the man should learn some new type of consuming another type of consumption, not based on a present state, and explore some other planets, which is we understand this is like sounds like techno-utopian, but it's important for man, since our existence on Earth is quite limited, and to limited resources. So he may be interpreted as an utopian thinker, yet the idea remains that there are limited resources on Earth, and if we not think cosmologically, then eventually the mankind will have any way out of this limited place on Earth. It's like it is also described in many theories which are like in ecology or in economy, they're called the theories of that describe the system as limited, and the limited resources on in a certain where a certain group of species it takes all the resources, and it cannot develop any longer because the system they use it's limited. Here are two more thinkers. Daniel Bell is important for the development of industrial, post-industrial theory, and Blaug Mark was saying that economic theory is somewhere between atomic physics and psychoanalysis. That means that economy is still quite very irrational, though we try to rationalize our production theories, still many irrational and uncountable things happen which cannot be taken into account. That means that humans they often think that they're quite rational, yet their rationality is very limited, and that's why we use like Bhagavad Purana, which is sometimes sounds like mythology, yet mythological and even philosophical thinking of the past. It may give us some very deep insights which we never gain from our so-called rational science, which is too mathematical and too impersonal. So let's get back to the classification of socioeconomic systems. They're divided into different groups, like administrative, market, traditional, mixed. So in modern economic literature, much is attention paid for the problem relationship between administrative system and the market one, and the role of the state in social and economic processes is formulated, and beyond the scope of research is the traditional component that is objectively present in transactions, like consciousness, culture, religion. In economics, they are disregarded since they are not considered as factors, yet in political economy they are regarded as tangible for rationalizing different positive externalities and minimizing negative ones. Like we see it in the example of emergence of Asian economies, where much of the success is should be given to this consciousness principle, culture principles. Then we can consider different religion systems as a sort of a guidance for people to stay and to subsist on earth, and they may be different in the Buddhism or Hinduism or Christianity, Islam, and other religions, yet they may be philosophy helps us to give an abstract picture of different ideas, and thus we still have some basic regulative ideas that are important for men to keep together to exist in their communities. I mean, all sorts of religions, they appeared as value systems to control and to divide the products, so that they have their economic and their sometimes sanitarian value, and all kinds of principles that are discussed in religions. They're quite practical. For example, the purity is maybe is used to stop the different diseases, to keep the rational consumption, to keep the consumption rational. So religion is quite rational, and actually, and it is based on the long period of existence of man on earth in very difficult conditions.
Apologies, we have 2 minutes left. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for. So the idea that dialectical spiritualism is the idea is to take the Vedic thought and to combine it with dialectics, which is very much described in Hegel's works, for example, and to show that the world is difficult, the world is complex, and we use different systems, and we combine them to get a more predictive science. That's it.